Hey everyone, I wanted to announce my two new channels that I just started on YouTube. One is a podcast channel and a self help channel, and another is a comedy channel or an outlet for all my comedic, ridiculous ideas. So I'll talk about the first one first. It's called New Skin, or the podcast is called New Skin. I should be slowly getting it up on other platforms or places that you can hear it, but mostly I'm focused on YouTube because I like the video element of it as well. I interviewed my first guest about a week and a half ago and uploaded the first episode. I'll be interviewing somebody else tomorrow. Basically, the podcast is surrounding ideas of philosophy, self help, spiritual practices, things of that nature. But mostly, I'm interested in people's story growing up, their story of suffering and trauma and difficulty, especially with broken homes and things of that nature, abusive parents, all that kind of difficult stuff, and how that helped them to become who they are, sometimes for the better or the worse. And it turns out that my whole life, basically, people tend to meet me and almost immediately pour their life story out to me. And it's always been kind of shocking and different. And sometimes I don't have the capacity to take all that on. And sometimes I handle it well. But I've come to enjoy that and find that I really connect with people through these raw stories and through these, essentially, through this trauma bonding. And that's what I want to do on this podcast. I want to hear how these stories shaped you. I want to hear how these situations made you unique and made you stronger, how they made you weaker, all that kind of stuff. And I'm especially associating the podcast with the LGBTQ community because I'm very interested in these people's stories, just the beautiful things that these people are doing and bringing the energy into this planet that they're bringing. And it's just I've always really gotten along with that community well and really seen myself almost as a part of that community. So not to mention their stories of perseverance and their stories of figuring out who they are. That those forms of expression and those forms of identification, I think, continue to be very important for all of us moving forward because it helps us to all feel better in our skin. It helps us to all feel better about the choices we make or the forms of expression that we feel comfortable with. And it's amazing how many people just struggle with those things, myself included. Things like painting your nails and being a male or having blazing red hair. These things, as I get older, I'm 37 years old now. As I get more comfortable in my skin, they tend to feel more like a reflection of a celebration of myself instead of other things that they might have seemed like before, or the constant person over your shoulder that's always like, "You're gonna do what? You can't," all that stupid stuff. So I hope you'll join me. Like I said, the podcast is called New Skin, and I'll be talking with a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life. So the other channel is called Feed Your Farts, and I, for a long, long time, there's a big split between me between very serious expression and musical, interpretations, and just how much I love and respect music, and have always really identified with it and been a musician through and through. And then there's another side of me that's just worships and loves comedy and comedic silliness and cartoons and voiceover and all this kind of stuff. And I've held off for a very, very long time trying to do those things or trying to associate myself with those things because I was afraid that it didn't make sense considering all the musical stuff I did. So either way, I'm not doing it on this channel. I'm doing it on another channel so that I can just express and do whatever the hell I want. Um, I am constantly and consistently bombarded with ideas and creativity. So I'm very happy to finally embrace that which all those things that I am and be able to have outlets for these things. So there's going to be videos about my dogs. There's going to be videos, just comic videos, skit-based videos, all kinds of things. There's already some stuff up on the channel to showcase some of this ridiculousness, but I can't wait to do more, and I can't wait to keep exploring those things. So once again, that will be in the description as well if you want to join me on there. Lastly, on my Sterling R. Jackson, on my music channel, where I share most of the music stuff, original stuff, cover stuff, I am going to be finally embracing the vocal lesson side of myself. I've been teaching people how to sing for about 10 years now. I know just about everything there is to know about the voice. from singing to screaming to mixed voice to distortion to compression to throat singing to vocal health, everything. And I never really wanted to be associated as a vocal coach or anything like that. And now I just don't care because these are things that I can do to help the world and parts of myself that I can do to help others. And why the hell not embrace them? So, from reaction video to analysis of how people are singing to lessons to breakdowns of mimicking people's tone and their placement, how to sound like people. We're going to be covering everything. If you want to join me on Patreon, I just started a Patreon and I'll make a separate video about that for more in depth. But if you want to learn how to mix, you want to learn how I write, you want to learn anything about my creative process, I will be doing all of that on my Patreon, Sterling R. Jackson. So I hope you'll join me on these new channels. I hope you check them out. If it's not your thing, I'll keep doing all the musical stuff. I got new albums in the works. I got all kinds of things that I'm doing. I'm doing a lot more videos of bands covering other bands or this song in the style of other stuff. Just constant, like I said, constant creativity and things that I'm trying to do. So if you enjoy it, keep tuning in. If you enjoy it, subscribe. I look forward to seeing you on other channels and hearing feedback from you on all of it. So thank you very much.